Hey guys, this is Dr. Sean over at the Center Path, and today we're going to talk about some of the meditation processes we've been doing and some breathing exercises. There's two main ones I'm going to go over. One is kind of a cyclical or egg-shaped breathing pattern. It's all visual in your head. And the other one is what's called box breathing or square breathing or some rectangle breathing. We'll go over how that works and why that works. Stay tuned to the end. I have one more thing to tell you after that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what's called box breathing. Box breathing is a technique to deal with pain and also to deal with stress and anxiety. Now, when we're having a kind of a meltdown, or we're feeling like we're getting towards a meltdown, or we're feeling stressed out, or we just really want to relax, we're going to do what's called square breathing or box breathing. It's really pretty easy to do. You don't see very many people do any graphics with it, so I'm going to try to do some right now. I have my little screen in front of me, and we're going to try and do just a little bit of a diagram for you so you can better understand. You don't have to follow along. This isn't really a guided meditation, but we are going to do a few breaths just to get used to it. Okay, so there is some numbers involved and there's some shapes and all that kind of fun stuff. So here we go. What I'm going to do is we're going to draw us I'm going to go straight down this way. There we go. There's our box. So in a typical box, we have four sides, right? When we breathe in, we're going to be following it up this way. Okay, so the breathing of, like, let's say count of four. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding is up here. LD, hold, can't even see that. Holding is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathing out is 1, 2, 3, 4. And then holding 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be like this, basically. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, holding, breathing in, holding, breathing out, holding. What that does is that's going to relax our sympathetic nervous system. It's going to activate the parasympathetics. The deeper we breathe and the more we can do it down on our belly, even better, because that's going to get our physiology to change and we're going to be able to become more relaxed. This is a great one to do if you can't sleep. Continue doing these 4 seconds or 3 seconds or 5 seconds. You don't want to do too much on the hold because the hold ends up being you become more anxious because you're holding your breath. But there's a couple tricks with this one too. So this would be called rectangle breathing. So we're going to breathe in a lot more. So let's say we're going to do 5, right, and 5, and we're going to do 3 and 3. So what it's going to be, hopefully those aren't backwards, but whatever. So we're going to breathe in for 5. Ready? We're going to go breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holding, 1, 2, 3. Breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then breathing in, holding again, 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be get it? Right? So breathing in for 5, holding for 3, breathing out for 5, holding for 3. Now, of course, there's other ones we can do as well. This is a weird one. This is going to be trapezoidal breathing. So we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to breathe in, let's say for 5. Okay. We're going to hold for 2, and then, or 1 or 2, and then we're going to breathe out for 7, and we're going to hold for 3. So it's going to be breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, holding 1, 2, breathing out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then holding 1, 2, 3, continuing. So it's going to be breathing in, right? So we're going to try to follow that pattern if we can. We can make this one 4, for example, maybe, or something like that, depending on what we can do. You can change it as you go. You're not going to mess it up, okay? But when you find a really good, comfortable way of breathing, stick with that for a little while, okay? The next one we're going to do, well, the next one we're going to do is actually my favorite, and it's one of the first ones I learned. This one is based in Tai Chi and Qigong. So in Tai Chi and Qigong, we're looking at the direction of the energy movement, the Qi energy, your Ki energy, your Prana energy, or whatever you want to call it, life energy, innate intelligence, whatever you want to call it, because it's really the energy that keeps us going. In the older philosophies, they would say that basically the breath was life, right? So you inspire, right? You're inspired, you breathe in, you expire, you die. Ugh, that's the last breath. In this one, we're going to do some cyclical breathing. And what we want to do is do more imagination with this one. So what I'm going to do is put up a little drawing here of a person sitting in a chair, and then I'm going to show you how that works, okay? So hang on. So here we are sitting in a chair, just like I'm sitting now. This is the more typical way of doing meditation anyway. A lot of people can't sit on the floor because they have knee problems or hip problems or back problems. This is a good way, sitting up nice and straight. Notice the ear, if you drew an ear in here, was right over the middle of the body. We're trying to keep things as aligned as we can. We don't want to slouch. We don't want to slouch, down like that. We want to keep a good upright posture that's, like good for the work. Okay. Now the breathing technique is we're just always going to start on the in breath. Okay. So way I do this one is I think of it like either throwing up a stone, right? When you throw up a stone, it flies up in the air and then it hits a certain point and it stops and then it comes down. That's and then when you grab it, you hold it for a little bit of time, right? You throw it up in the air, it flies up, it stops, then comes down. That's the way we're going to do our breath, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. I want you to imagine down the front and up the back. So as we breathe down this way and then up the back. So it's going to be this. I always imagine it in front of me, and you can do this too. It doesn't really matter. Let's put this like this, and we're going to go breathing. As we breathe in, we're going to go in from here, in, hold, and let out, right? It's going to be that kind of shape. So it's kind of an egg shape, flatter at the bottom, pointier at the top. So we're going to be breathing in. As we breathe in, breathing in, up through the front. We'll do up through the front here. Hold for a moment, and then out. Let it set. Really let that setting point of the out breath settle you. Allow yourself to become relaxed into that stillness. And that's going to help get our mind still as well. When we're doing these breathing exercises, one of the best things that we can do is work on concentrating on the breath, but also letting go of the breath and then sitting in the breath. There's a whole process. You can split this up in so many ways, but I generally will do breathing up the front, right? So I think of it in my body of breathing up, 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 and then down the back. Okay. Conversely, you can do up the back and down the front. It doesn't really matter, but the old traditional way is up the front, down the back. Okay. So we bring it up through here and then back and down. Okay, and that just kind of like changes the way the energies move. You can play with it if you want to do the opposite way and see if that increases your energy or decreases your energy. Of course, in the evening, if you want to relax, you decrease your energy, right? If you want to wake up early in the morning and do some breathing exercises, you'd breathe faster. Make sense? Now, the last part we want to talk about is how the in-breath and the out-breath make a big difference. Think about it this way. If you're breathing and you're happy, you breathe in quick, you let out relaxed. When we're letting the breath out, you can also let it out this way. Let yourself vocalize a little bit because that shows that your body is relaxing and it tells your brain that it's time to relax, that it is okay to relax, that everything is safe. Now, if you think of like fear, we inspire very quickly, right? And we hold it. We don't want to do that. We want to try to breathe in slowly. If we're trying to relax, breathe in nice and slow. Let it hold all the way out. Let that hold at the bottom. When it holds at the bottom, that's where you get your relaxation. We continue that holding at the bottom, and we can actually start to feel more relaxed. Pain decreases. With the box breathing that I showed you, if you do 3 seconds each, 3 seconds in, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds out, 3 seconds hold, right? You keep doing that kind of pattern. You'll start focusing more on the breathing and the process of breathing, and then the pain tends to fade away. Totally true. I've used it myself. Hard one to do is like to get away from things like itching. If you have a really bad itch, trying the breathing technique is a really good way, but it's hard. It's not an easy technique. It takes a little bit of time to practice. You can master it in 1 minute. We just did. I mean, you've got your breathing technique already done. So try the different kinds: the box breathing, the rectangle breathing, the trapezoid breathing, and then try this little oval, or which we'll call, I guess, energy egg breathing or something like that. Because it's really about moving the energy. If you turn this upside down, hold it at the top, for example, breathing in. That would be the opposite. So that would be more of this kind of shape, right? If we take it like this, and we would do like a more oval that way. Wider here, narrower here. Whereas this one was more wide here, narrow here. Does that make sense? And these ways you can play with your breathing techniques. You're not going to do it wrong. If you start feeling dizzy or tingly or woozy or something like that, then stop and go back to your normal breathing. These aren't supposed to be done for an hour. You can work on them for a couple minutes at a time. You can work on them for an hour at a time, 10 hours, I don't care, whatever you want to do. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. And the more you become in tune with your breathing, the more you're going to get better at coming in tune with your body and the way it feels. And you'll be able to access relaxation and de-stress much quicker. Okay, so this is Dr. Sean over at the Center Path. We're doing meditation and breathing exercises of physiology. We're really getting into that this time. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share this, because I'll be teaching a lot more for stress relation stuff. And this is building up to bigger meditation practices. Okay, you guys take good care of yourselves. We'll talk to you soon.